All right, going live. So we are back at Adventure Day. We left off with the rooms, drawing the rooms, changing it from the graphic to actually drawing each of the rooms. So that we're actually doing with a sprite. Did I lose you, Pete?
No, I'm right here.
Oh, okay.
I probably wasn't moving much.
You weren't moving, and you didn't say anything, and so
Yeah,
I was just
let's let you
assuming
talk,
that you
I'm
were.
sorry.
I thought maybe you
Yeah,
got
because the way
disconnected.
Skype's been, right?
Yeah, so I don't know. That's why I was like, let me just double check here.
All right, I'll make sure I go. Yep. Yeah, man, it's fine. Go ahead. Please continue.
So we have two rooms that we've done. We got a couple more that we need to do. I think it'd be good to get at least the two other rooms done, because there's the two flat rooms. So just not sure. Okay, so what we were doing is we were doing using the pen to actually draw this. Man, I got something in my throat. I can't get it cleared.
So these two rooms are basically the same. They just have the opening on the other end. So we had to kind of flip that around a little bit. But
yeah, so we got these two.
So and then the other ones were open on the end. Do you still have the sprites in there, like the costumes, so that we could see like what you had drawn for like comparisons? Yeah, you do. Cool. Okay. So we've got 1 and 5 drawn right now.
Right, because it was easy to. Once we did one, we just had to flip it, right? And then we have. I think this is 1. I'm not even sure this is actually 1. Where it's the top and bottom. I feel like it's really room 3 and room 4 are the two other ones. Because you can, so you start at the Golden Castle. Oh, you know what? There's actually one, I think, where there's an opening in the top and the bottom.
Yeah, to pass through.
Yeah, because like in the Black Castle, that you go up and then there's the magnet, and then you can go up past that and you can get the chalice.
I feel like there is room 2s though, right? Like where there's those colored lines that kind of block them off.
But it's not.
No.
But it's not an end. Usually, you can either go up or down. That was what I. What I remember for it. So, let's. We can do. I think if we do room 3 and room 4, we can actually do the other one where you pass through pretty easily. So. Alright, so the way I was doing that, I had. Let's clear that. That's what I did is I added this so that we can change this, because inside of these draw blocks here.
The make your own block kind of thing. So there's code inside of those, and they have the specifics. Yeah, we were talking about the room colors and stuff too last week a little bit. Once we get everything working, we'll have to deal with that.
Yeah, that was part of the collision issue, right?
It was the collision issue, and then what it means to the game, whether it was just there to show differences or if it was there, like if it related to the keys and castles.
Yeah, it definitely didn't relate to the keys and castles.
But it shouldn't be random either, because it relates to knowing where you've been.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing we were talking about. That's.
Yeah, so. I don't need that. But I thought I had a block here set for drawing it so that I could.
Variable.
Oh, I think I was trying to set some.
Yeah, maybe you need to just pop that forever off.
Yeah, I think this is.
Oh, was that the hitbox?
Oh, that was the hitbox.
You have an undo if you want it back.
Wait a minute, but that's on the key.
It is on the key.
Oh, that was the hitbox that I was trying to. That was when I wanted to have the hitbox around the.
Oh, so for the pickup, that's what we were doing.
Yeah, it was so that we could actually drop it on here and see it. Why are these all set to nothing now?
Did you change the name of the variable that was associated to them? Because it doesn't just propagate.
No, I think. That's interesting. I guess there's a pen size, so I need to set it.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, so that was the idea, was so that I could. Oh, that was weird. Yeah. So yeah, so this was just the draw that hitbox around the. That's why we had that turned off. I think I was going to make this variable for these directional pieces, so
Mm,
I think that's what I was
right,
working on there. So I don't. We'll just leave this over here in the scratch pad. But I do need a thing to draw the room. So where was I drawing?
wasn't that on that room drawer?
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
Okay.
Um, the problem was is I thought I had left one here on the board.
Oh, to play with. I gotcha.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of like. Oh, that's weird. I thought I had done that. So I should be able to. If I run this, it gives me that room, right? So we want to do the ones across the top and bottom. Let's do the. We'll leave the top open and do the bottom, right? So this starts here in this spot and goes that direction. So I'm almost thinking I could like leave those two and then do the pen up and then take this to.
Yeah, you just have to remove that. Yeah, exactly. You have to skip ahead.
Yeah, I think this
Actually,
needs to be.
is that going to be Y though?
No, see,
Are you
like this
trying
is
to move down or across?
these
Mhm.
these two. I was going to draw the top bar first, and then I was going to draw the bottom bar all the way across. So I feel like I should. Oh, wait a minute. So the problem is this
Let's just
actually
run it and see where it goes every step.
this starts off. This starts off page and then draws up, right? So that's how we got the flat edge to the top, and then it rounds
Right,
out,
because
right?
because the corners looked all weird.
Yeah.
Of the
So
rounded pen.
what we actually needed, we need to have also is I think this here, right? So that gets us to that side, and then we do the pen up for this one,
Mm-hmm.
and we go to this will go to the other side, so it should go over here.
So that'll wrap around the corner, sort of, right? Whoa,
Yeah. Oh.
something. What happened? Did you flip a sign or something?
I did. But this was because this should have been. Oh, this one needs to be a negative. That's why. Okay. I flipped a sign. I just didn't flip them on both of them. So now we get that basically the same thing there. So then we just need the same.
So then you're just gonna move in the other direction.
Yeah. So then I should be able to put this down here and go to the negative side of that. All right. So that's giving us the top side. So I should be able to do this again then.
Yeah, just on a
This will,
different Y plane.
yeah, because this will end up being the pass through if I do it with this one. I think it's going to be easier to do this one first. Nope, I didn't mean to get rid of that. Just move these over here. Yeah, so then I should just be able to set these to the negative.
Yeah, to the bottom position.
Yeah, I accidentally clicked on it, so it just drew a line right across the whole thing. All right, So I think that's doing it. So let's
Yeah.
do
So that should do both.
that.
And
Should
it
do
does.
both. All right, cool. So now that gives us one room, which is good. Now we need to duplicate
So
this.
maybe, yeah, maybe you drop one of those, the one that's done on the, into a room.
Yeah,
Well,
I was gonna
just because it's getting crowded.
Yeah. I think I don't want to go doing that just yet. One sec. So this will get us the top part. So then we just need the bottom to go all the way across, right? So we would need a pen up. And then I think one of these will actually give us what we're looking for, right? Because I think it starts here.
Yeah, it's got to go the full X
Yeah, I think that's what this does, right? 'Cause it
press.
goes
Yeah, that's
all the
second
way.
one. Yeah, that second one will stretch
Oh.
it across.
I said this one I think goes down. Oh, I left the pen up. I didn't do the pen down. It's like, why is it not drawing? There we go. Oh, not quite what I was looking for, but negative. So we actually want,
You want the one that's different for the X,
yeah.
right? So 235 and
I need to duplicate this for this one to go all the way across, right? So this will be all the way
and that's
positive.
positive. And then the Y stays the same because you want to ride across the, that's
Yeah.
the top. And if you make it negative 175, you would do the bottom, probably, right?
Yeah. There we go.
Cool.
All right, good. So now we're getting somewhere. So then basically we need to do this same thing except with it flipped, so we would actually be able to.
And that was as easy as flipping the signs, right? Like when we did the other one.
Yeah, but I think it's even easier because I think I just need these two actually, and I can. Take this and get rid of that actually and copy from here down.
Oh, good morning, Zora.
Oh,
I didn't see did the emotes work? I didn't even notice. I was watching not the stream, the us. I was watching the us.
yeah, what we're actually doing.
Yeah, I was making the stream.
Boom. There we go. Now we got the bottom too.
Ooh, yeah.
So
All right, cool.
yeah. Oh, cool. The only thing I'm thinking with
Let's see it. I'm sorry, I'm watching the stream. Oh, there we go. We each got one.
we are winners.
Yay.
All right, so we've got the pass through, closed bottom, closed top. Now the only thing that I wasn't sure about is when it has the closed bottom here, there's actually a line down the side here. I don't remember if that is something special or if that is like if it opens up somehow and allows you to go through it or not.
So from my memory of playing Adventure, which I mean at the time, it was 30 something years ago, but I feel like it did. I feel like that was part of the thing that you had to it was like an unlockable kind of thing. Like you had to unlock it to move on.
Okay. I feel like I haven't seen that in the watching some of the gameplay of it, but I honestly I wasn't really able to tell completely. So let's do draw room. Get these other ones. So we got draw room 2.
Yeah, I mean we can put the line in because it is there regardless of how we treat it later.
Well, I was thinking if we put it in there now, we can come back to it. I think that's something that we can come back to because honestly, we have to discuss how we're going to even handle the boundaries because right now with it moving, it technically can move off the screen. And the way we were doing the boundaries, the colors give us a problem.
Yeah.
So I think we'll have to and we actually don't have anything that tells us which sides we can go through, which sides we can't go through, and so there's a lot that needs to happen. All right, let's do another one. Draw room 3. That feels weird on there, but draw room 4. Alright, so now with these done, we should be able to draw room 1 or 0. Oh, you know what? Okay.
They not have a clear on the front of them?
They
do it
do-
in the top.
We were
And that changes
doing it here.
They probably should, dude. Like, why would you want to draw a room on top of another? Although it clears everything that you drew, too. Which can get a little weird.
Yeah, so I think, well, I mean, we can put the clear in here too, I think. Maybe we should remove it from the other ones. I'm gonna leave it there. I think that'll make...
Yeah, you kind of want to have control of it, right?
Yeah.
Be doing something else with the pen and having it get wiped out and going, why is this happening?
Right. I think clear, as we would say in programming, this is a method, right? And so in programming, you'd want it to have unexpected behavior. And it clearing itself would be kind of that unexpected behavior.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Did you get stuck in the wall?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, I definitely did. But, alright. Because I think for our room changes, all we're doing here is... Yeah, see, we're just testing to see whether we hit it and changing to that other room. So now the thought is, we want to create the rooms and create the map.
Mm-hmm.
So we know which room we're going to and from, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do we have
So-
available to us on that front?
Well, we have multi-leveled arrays. So it feels like you could use sort of a matrix to get it done. I'm having a hard time fitting into my head what that would look like just now, but
Yeah, I think what we might have to do is... Alright, let's see. Let's make a variable, and we're going to do it for all sprites. We'll call it map. I think sounds
Okay.
good. And the map... Oh, is there something different for an array?
you can put that list, you can set that variable to that list object. But you got to do it in line. You can't go back. Well, you can then add to it by variable name. So you can then do a set your new variable, set map to, and then drag that list into it. And now you have a
This?
list name. Yeah, see that? Yeah, that. That's the list block. So you can put that in there. Now the way you add to it, yeah, inline is to do it that way. But you can also do an add to. So you should be able to do, if you go down further in your array tools there's a programmatic add to. So it'll say add this thing to, yeah. So you can add whatever you put in the box there to your map variable. So you should be able to put your map variable, off of your variables tab, the bubble, yeah, into there.
Okay,
And
so
then you
then
can-
do I even need this then?
I believe that's what's making it yeah, I guess not. I guess you don't need that because you have map.
Oh.
Expecting a list.
but getting number. So maybe we do have to put it in there?
Yeah, maybe that didn't work right. I'm just starting to play with this stuff myself. So, I don't know exactly. Look at inherit. That's interesting.
The weird part is that this is round versus an action. And I think that's the part that is causing me confusion. Because this feels like it should be something you put into a thing.
It's the array.
Yeah. Well, let's try this. And then... So in here I could actually do a list of list.
Yes.
So... Let's start with this being room 0. Hey, just 1 second here. I gotta cough. Alright, there we go. Sorry about that. So, I see us needing to store what the different things in the list are going to be, right? I think we're going to do it positionally.
Okay.
So we can say, like, the first position is the... Maybe we need to make it the ID, right? So this will have an ID as 0. And then we could have the... maybe the room number, like which one it's going to draw, right?
So I'll tell you which pen function to use. Okay.
Right. And then maybe we do what spots you can go in the different directions. So there'll be 4 spots that tell us where you can go.
Okay. So that'll be like basically doors, like the doors.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking doors.
So do we want to do like a north-south, east-west kind of deal? Like where you have basically like 4 sections and we could do like a true or false in it?
That's what I'm thinking.
Or do you want to...
Well, we have to tell it what room it goes to.
I need multiple. Yeah.
You have to tell it what room it's going to. So I think what we could do is we could do like... So I think we should go clockwise, right? To keep track of it. So we can go... So first we'll do up, and in this case for this one is -1 I'm going to use for the false.
Okay.
Right, so then this one would be -1.
You actually have a true Boolean in here that you could drop in there.
It's I think that might be trickier. Let's try this first. We can try switching that in the next one. So I'm going to try to do just the 2 rooms that we've got, right?
Okay.
And so this is the bottom position. The next one is going left, which we don't have a way to go. So I think...
So this is saying you can go down.
This is saying that you can go down. So now we want to add another list. But in this case, we're going to do 1. Oh. Alright, so room ID 1 happens to also be draw room 1. And then this time going up would be going to room 0. 2 more. And then this would be -1. Right, because that's to the right. -1 for down, and then -1 for going left.
So that leaves the top door open.
That leaves the top door open, because it's going to go to room 0. And that's this one, because this ID at the beginning is that room. I hope we can do it that way. I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder if that code's even going to run. It does. Cool.
Yeah, it ran. Look, so now we got our...
You get a little table. Which you can hide, I think. Yeah, it's over on the... it's the variable that you're showing.
Yeah.
So I think, John, actually you could set map just to define it as a list and then do 2 adds if you wanted to make that not weird. Like I think you can set map to an empty list and then do all your directions as adds if you want. Because it looks a little weird, right?
It does.
Yeah, just leave it like that and then do another add and put that list inside it. Yeah, I think you no, you can't, huh?
No, you can. You just got to drag it to it. So it's like versus it being like a drop down here for your variable.
Right, you got to drop it on there. I got you.
Yeah.
Map. Yeah.
There we go. So now we're getting it the same way. All right.
Yeah.
Interesting. So
I think your screen share might have stopped for me. That's weird.
yeah,
Because I don't see anything happening.
I'll reshare it. So yeah, okay. So we've got the map there. This is set. So now we just need to put this on a. Put
It's
this
not
on the.
coming back.
Put this on the adventurer. I think I'll put it onto the stage. It's not
I'm actually
coming back.
watching you on the stream. No, it's not coming back, but our stream is only a couple seconds behind right now, so that's what I'm watching. But oh, now it came back. Now it's back.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
you're starting to crackle a little too. So I'm wondering if it's an issue with that. So all right, so we've got that.
So
We've got the map. It'll draw. It'll complete the map. What we should do. It would be nice to have it come in like when the game starts, that it starts at 0, and like have it draw that immediately. How are we doing the draw room 0 now? Right, we're setting the room number here, and then broadcast changing rooms. Okay.
right.
So then it would be
So-
neat if we do that in here. It'd be neat to be able to take that room number and use it to pick which function, which method to execute.
Right. So there's a find.
Right.
It's in like the
I know. I was.
array. What are you trying to think of, John?
No, that's all right. So we're gonna do. So find first item.
Right. So you have your conditional there.
Yeah, so we gotta put the map.
So you're going to say like where item in the first position equals, or the item in the first position. So there should be like a find first item in. There's a find first item in. Because that's the room number, right?
I don't
You
see the
have to,
find
like,
first
nest-
item in.
It's right under keep items. So there's a map. Keep
Oh, that's
items.
the one I have right
find
here.
first- Oh, it is the one you have right there. I'm sorry.
I was just trying to. That's why I was confused. I was like, wait a minute, you're saying something different than the one that I have here. So this is a conditional. So then I gotta say. I'm not sure what this little thing do. Input names.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Input names. Can you give it something?
All that in front of. This is very interesting.
You just got to figure out how they're thinking about it.
Yeah. I think the tricky part is that the first item. I don't know what this is.
Because you're going to want to find the first item where its first element equals the room number. Right?
Yeah.
So do you have to nest that? Ooh, item number. There you go. Oh, maybe that's what that value is. You can put the value in there. Yeah.
I think that's
Right. And then room number. Right. That's
that's
what
a
would be on the
really
right
big
side.
block.
It is, right?
It's a little crazy. All right, I think I'm gonna like get rid of these draws here.
Yeah, make a little room.
Yeah. All right, so this gives us that first item where this is the case, right? And then to get the, then we want to say the item, because that actually returns a list. We want
Right.
this.
Yeah.
We want the second one. See, I'm concerned because it says item. I guess that makes sense, right? Because it's the array. So, okay. So second item in this array, which should be the room number.
Mm-hmm.
Not the room number, the draw number, right? So this, if we put this in.
It's hard to get it in that bubble, huh?
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Whew.
There you go. Whew. Indeed. Look at that block. Yeah, baby.
It's all about the bigger blocks. So I think I might need to set this. I think it's going to be better if I set this to a variable instead of doing this every single time. So I think what we'll do is we'll just add another variable real quick that'll do that, right? So we'll just make a variable for the sprite only, and we'll say room to draw. That way we can then basically,
Yeah, we could fish it out
yeah.
instead of having that chunker. You want to put it into like a function, don't you? Just like,
Yeah, it's just, I'm hoping this is what this does.
I bet you it doesn't the first time. All in all.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
You are probably
maybe
right.
we'll get lucky. It happens once in a while.
So
that looks like it's it.
It's not blowing up. So those should still work because 0 and 1 is what we were using. So if I start this, it's still switching.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
So I
It
think,
worked.
holy moly, I wasn't sure. That was a lot of stuff to see if it was going to work, right? Because switch, room number chain, room draw, room to draw changed. All right. So awesome. The next
Interesting,
thing,
the key passes through the wall.
it does in the game too.
Does it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that the key is fine because all the stuff you can hold passes through the walls. Thank you. We figured out how to make an array work. Now, we don't have a switch operational, do we? We just have to do if.
Nested if else's. That's what you got. I don't know. I mean, Snap has a lot, so maybe there's something in there.
Let's see if it has.
They have it in a bubble, which is weird. So I guess you could do like inlines. Is that what that is? You see it?
Where?
So because it's got like you can.
Oh,
If
this.
you look, yeah. So it looks like you can actually drop like what would even go in there?
Oh, this is so you could like set a variable based on the conditional, right? Like it's like
Okay.
it's like an instant if type of.
So if you were doing a set to, and then yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what makes how that. I've seen it used in something, and that's how it was being used.
Right.
Oh, this
I mean,
is
you have.
interesting.
What is call? What does that do? What?
Can we merge stuff like take some text and add the number to the end of it?
Yes, there's a join for sure. That's in
So
the operators. It's in the green bubbles. There's a join.
join, awesome. So what was our in our pens? It was draw room.
Draw room and then a number. Yeah.
So what if we do room to draw and put that there? And then
Call
put
it.
that there.
What? That will be awesome.
But where do I put this?
How do we? Yeah. How do we execute it? Is that just to get a return?
Is it? Maybe. Oh, wait a minute. Would this do it?
Maybe.
Oh, wait, I said that's run with continuation. That's kind of like a. It's almost like an
There's
asynchronous operation.
there's a run up there. There's a run and a launch up there. Up a little farther. Yeah. What? What? Do you even need the call at that point?
Expected a ring. Oh, call like on the phone.
Oh. So maybe put that other piece right in there. Yeah. Looks like it's still unhappy with it. Expecting a ring. All right, I think that's the old error. Try like clicking it again or something.
Trying to go smaller. Kept going bigger. This looks like it should be it. I'll try stopping. Expected a ring, but getting draw room 0, which is thought it seemed good.
So draw room 0 seems good.
Yeah, so that's working.
Launch? No.
Oh, here we go. Let me see if I can do. Oh, it's expecting a block. Oh, wait a minute.
You could put. Oh, we got to select which block though.
I know.
I bet you there's a way, dude.
I know. It feels like there is.
Let me see what Google has to say about it.
I'm gonna go the route of just getting it to work. So
Okay.
I'm gonna put in the multiple if else's to do it.
I'll see what I can find here.
Yeah. If you find it, that'd be awesome because it feels like it should happen. So I can then just duplicate this, put this inside here, then duplicate again. Oh, is that where I want to put that? 0 if it's 1.
Call and run.
A lot of extra rooms. Alright. Duplicate this one. Right,
Oh,
0,
block can take a procedure as input.
4. Oh, I guess I didn't actually need this last one. It's 1, 2, 3, and then this else will be the 4th room. Right, so we're basically it'll fall through. If it's 0, it'll draw room 0. Else, it'll come into this if. If it's 1, it'll draw room 1. You know, I feel like if there was some of the coaches that have been doing Snap for a while, they're probably like, use the thing! Use the thing! So it's like,
Yeah, right. It's so close, dude. We're just doing it a little wrong.
yeah.
Wow, you can put procedures into Wow, John, you could put the blue blocks right into the array. You don't even need to name it and put it in a block.
Wait a minute. Say this
Here,
again.
hang on. So there's this. I'm reading the Snap manual because there's like a 100-page manual for Snap.
Oh.
So there's actually you can create a list, and then one of the elements in a list, you can just drop a group of blocks in it, and then execute the code. Which is easy.
Oh. That seems weird.
Yeah, like here. I'm gonna send you the link. It's cool enough to send it to you. You might even want to pull it up. So this is just to the manual. I slacked it to you. Oh, there's a tick mark on the end. Sorry. So I slacked it to you, but if you go down to page 48 is what I was looking at, which was crazy. But all in that area, it shows how to kind of use this stuff.
All right. What page did you say?
So 48, the bottom of page 48 was where I saw it actually dropping. They're showing you dropping blocks into an array.
Combine.
See it, procedures as data? Down the bottom.
Oh.
Right? Right?
So a ring is the little angled thing. I think.
Okay. So that's why I was expecting a ring. Okay.
Because I'm like, when I was reading this, I was like pulling a ring. I was like, hold on a second. It seemed like ring and call, like there was actually, because I know that you could do some crazy stuff with Snap and Scratch, that I thought maybe they actually had some phone plug-in.
Yeah.
So procedures as data, which a procedure must be explicitly marked as data by pulling a ring from the operator's palette and putting the procedure blocker script inside of it. But the list accepts inputs of any type, so its input slots are not ringed. We must say explicitly that we want the block itself as the input rather than whatever value would result from the evaluating block. So this is a thing that's doing.
Does it say
So it
compose?
calls F with inputs G. Yeah, so it's actually, it seems reasonable that what we're doing is the same thing.
Yeah. That's why I think maybe we were just not constructing it quite right.
With inputs. And it's calling G to return the values of G into F.
So see how it's wrapped in that report block instead of because that's so we need something that's a puzzle piece instead of because that other one we had was a round and that's why it was getting angry because it was a bubble. I think from reading this.
Yeah.
So
Snap just locked up. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so it was doing the report. See this. Let's see. This is the right idea, but we need to actually pass. This is expecting actual blocks, not a method. Right? So I think what we would need to do.
I mean,
What if the array might not be able to take the method. I was thinking that we could actually put the draw room method into that second slot. but I don't think we won't be able to get to those blocks because I made them specifically just for the um, just for this sprite. Right. So if I switch over to here, I don't have them. So what we could maybe do, just as a test to see if this is the right way to do it, let's make a variable here for this sprite, and we'll call it room data. And we'll set room data. Oh no, I'm gonna need that at some point here. Nope. Room data.
Didn't show up in the dropdown?
What's that? Yeah, I found it in the dropdown. So what I want to do in here is I want to put in the room number, and then I want to put in the function. Wait a minute, wasn't that what it was saying I could do?
Mm-hmm.
List.
Did we have to wrap something around it? How it's saying.
It seems like it, but
What's
I don't.
that gray piece? Looks like there's a fitting or something you have to put around it. Is there a gray fitting?
Yeah. Well, every time I switch screen, like I switch tabs, Snap just locks up for about 20 seconds. Report. Here's a report. No. Yeah, where did they get that? Oh. What is warp?
It makes it go faster. It takes because there's apparently like a little bit of a tick timing to the thing. Like warp will just run it instantly.
Oh,
it's
okay.
weird. I was reading about it. It's kind of like if you want something to happen fast instead of stepping through at a pace. Like you know how when you make it walk, it feels like it should zip right across the screen, but it actually knows to take steps.
Mm-hmm.
You can skip that step taking stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I haven't used it, but I read about it.
I'd have to go. So, okay, so this does launch it. That works. What I think we need is there's got to be something we're missing here. I don't know what it is though. It was over here under variables. I just didn't see it.
Yeah, I thought I saw like little gray wrappers that looked very much like at some point when I was in here. So I'm opening it up. I don't see it now. So
it's not in operators.
Oh, dude, they're right at the top.
What do you mean?
If you go to operators, right, go all the way to the top of operators.
Oh,
there's little gray fittings.
Oh.
See him?
Yeah.
Got him.
All right, so.
I'm sorry, I'm watching on the stream, so I'm a little behind because
yeah,
the screen share stopped again.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, but it's okay. We're almost done. The stream is pretty close, so I'll just try and bear with it.
So I think then we don't need. So we're not going to need. We're not going to need the join. We need. Let me take this off here. We'll do that same thing that we did for the other thing, right? So we'll do the first set for the room data. Will just be an empty list. Then we'll do the add. Where'd you go? So those will make it. Yeah,
this is gonna be cool, actually.
Now I gotta. So put the room data in there, right? So now we got that. Then we can duplicate this.
Right.
So then we just do one. Oh. So 1, 2, 3. Need to do one more. And then do 4. And then now we should be able to just take these. Oh, oh shoot! I forgot you can actually put more than one thing in there. Like you can actually create a whole.
Yeah. Yeah, you could put a whole subroutine in there. That's neat. That's really neat.
So now, why does it say?
Yeah.
Oh, look! It put an empty thing there. Oh, did it do
What?
that for the other one?
Look at that table. Oh, there's an extra element?
Maybe that. There we go. It had to be actual empty. I had a single value in it.
All right, so now it's right.
Yes.
Dude, that's so awesome.
All right. So now that we have that, we shouldn't need. We should be able to do. Don't need this. We just need to. Oh, I guess actually we did need that. Shoot. I needed the run.
Yeah. Oh, your screen's moving again. Cool.
So we need to run. So we got the list. Got to get the room data. So I got to get the first item out of the room data. Again.
But we just need to run it, right?
Yeah. So say from the room data, and then we got to say where the value.
Don't we really just need to find where the room number equals the first value and then run the code inside? Is that what we're trying to do here? So when I receive changing rooms, I'm going to get the room number.
Right, so now we're going to have the room to draw. The room number is on the map. So the room number is where the map ID is. The room to draw is the draw ID, right? So you could technically draw these ones over and over again for different areas of the map. So what we've got here is we take the room number, look it up in the map. Then we get the room to draw. So now room to draw has that value. So now we just need to say where that room to draw is in the room data. And then we got to do get the second item of this. Because now we're getting a second thing, and then that we're executing.
Right. And that's the code that comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Expected list.
That's so
but
funky.
getting Boolean. Expected list getting Boolean. Find first item. What did I do wrong here? It looks similar to this one. Oh, hold on a second. I gotta do.
Do you need something extra around that green piece?
So I needed to add it. So what the value is actually going to be an array. I was testing the array, not the item in the array. So I want to test where the first value in the array is equal. Like this number here has to be equal to the room to draw. And then I want the second item, which is this portion here, to actually execute it. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So it didn't bomb, and it loaded.
And it's working.
And it's working. So it would be interesting to just try, right? Because now this does all of it for us. We don't have to worry about it. This takes care of it all for us too.
That's so awesome. I mean, it's complicated, but
yeah. But so then the question, what would be interesting here? Shoot, I forget which one it is.
what are you trying to get at, John?
I want to draw a different room, right? So I want to be able to say, let's say draw room 3. So room 3 is the one I want to now have at the bottom versus this other one that we just did, right? So my thought was, what I wanted to do is just change the data for it, which we have on the stage here, right? So technically, what I should be able to do is, this is for room 1. I should be able to change this to 3 and have this
Hey, can I
still.
make a suggestion, John, before we continue?
What's that?
I think you should save the project because Snap is not Scratch, and technically it could lock up and we could lose all this.
All right. It is.
It just was like, wow, that was really complicated. We don't want to do that again.
Right. So now I've got this new room in there. So now I've got a different room. I got all these variables shown all over the place. I don't think we need those.
Yeah, you can hide the tables, I think.
Yeah, they're all.
They're just hide the variables. Yeah.
Nope, nope.
Why did that one not go?
All right. But yeah, so now we're actually. I don't have anything over there yet. So the only problem is I don't have that color. So I was able to walk right through it. Yeah, because the color protection doesn't block it. So we end up with a small issue of this happening.
It's doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Cool.
So I think I want to do something here. I want to add a new sprite. I'm gonna leave it like that. I want this one to be the bounding box. So I want to get this code out of here because this doesn't make sense there. Do you think this clear here clears all pen drawings?
I think it does. I don't know. It might just clear the ones you did in that script, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess we could find out, right? Because if I have that on there and I hit start, oh, it clears all of them. Ah, that's a bummer. Ah, so I'll just leave that broken. Because now we get that. So it was funny, I was like, oh, we could do more stuff with this, but the next piece that we have to address is going to be how we identify that we're changing rooms and what room we're going to, right? Because this piece here is what we're doing. So we actually have 2 sets of information we need to probably try to address. It's going to be the touching, or we just make all the rooms the same color and we just leave it for now and just make it so, hey, everything's the same color, or we just do 2 colors or something like that, because that touching was completely destroying performance.
Yeah, well, we might be able to establish what color room you're in when you come in, too. So we could have multiple colors, but we could set the touching to that
You can't.
when you enter the room.
The square blocks you can't set. That was one of the things I kept trying to do. Well, you know what? We have a whole manual now, so that I wasn't looking at.
Yeah. Yeah, I found that a while ago. I was paging through it when I needed stuff. But...
Yeah, so we may have to take a quick read of that to see what we can do, but it would be nice to be able to make this address that, right? And it feels like what we're going to have to do is, as the room number excuse me. I think what we're actually going to have to do is say, if the Y position is able to reach a leaving area of the screen, what's the location that it's going to, and then we look that up in that in that map data, and then
because that'll give us our directionality, so to speak, so we know which door we took and what is in the next room.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to have to address, too, at some point, like, all right, we know how to draw that type of room, but at some point it's going to become a room, because it might have a dragon in it, might have a key in it. Like, it's going to become an instance of a room.
True, but the room But the thing is that the room doesn't need to know what's in it. The items need to know where they are.
Interesting. Okay. So the item would know what room it's in.
Yeah.
But but we would still need to do something when we change rooms to find out what items were there and what position they were in.
Well, that's why we have the change rooms broadcast, right? So as
Right.
you change, that broadcast will go out, and all the items will get a chance to say, should I be shown in this room or not?
Hmm.
So I think it's doable with the structure that we've inputted here, or basically put into it with the broadcast.
Yeah. And being able to use that like tabular kind of data would be nice too. Because then like doing what you said, like having the items just know where they are, that's pretty easy actually. Because you can iterate through these lists.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is really wild. Like the amount of stuff that we can do with this. I mean, this, even though these blocks are giant now, this is way better than nested ifs all the way down.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, man, totally. It's so much better. It looks weird, but it's just because it looks weird.
right. I mean, this looks good. I like the like this is going to be interesting here, being able to do this map data. So I don't even think we need this stuff here anymore, so we can get rid of that. But we'll just be able to keep adding on to this. That's what I think is going to be neat, right? So we could say, so if we had that to room 3, because that makes sense that room 3 would be there, we could make it so that the so from there we would want to move right to in this one, so we can make this 2. And then this would be the opposite of that one, so that would have been 4. Is that right? Let me see. What was room 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, so room 4 is the open on the bottom, because the map starts where you have the opening on the bottom, you come down, and you have the opening on the top and the sides, and you can go to the right, and then you can go down. So this would be the next one that would be to that right position. Now the
Pink.
what's that?
I said, and it's pink.
Yeah. The thing we may want to look at here at some point, maybe sooner than later, is do we want to have this listed out where it kind of makes sense on a grid, where we could say, here's the grid that we want. And so instead of this being 0, right now we're using 0 and 1 because those were the numbers that we had built into stuff. But to maybe make this make more sense, we could say we're going to have this is going to grid that does this, and this will be those rooms. We don't have to. We just need to know what things are numbered which way so that we can get these going to the right spot.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's that sense of a map, like a real map.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so then this would be, so this one you can go up to 0, you could go right to 2, and then here you could go left, left to 1, and down would be to the next room, but you can't go up, and you can't go right,
Right, because they're closed.
because they're closed. Huh.
Yeah. So that just adds. Yeah. So you certainly can like map it out like that.
Yep. Neat.
That's, yeah, man. Oh, it's 10:06.
It is
We're
10
over
of,
time.
well, we had a little late start, so I think that works. Wow, Pete, I think we're doing great. I think we're getting close to a real adventure game.
Yeah, we learned a lot about the way to use those lists and arrays, though.
We
I
did.
may actually, I may turn the coaches onto this episode. Actually,
That was pretty slick.
like,
I
hey,
think it makes Snap way more. Does make Snap way more programming, educational, friendly.
yeah, that's what I was telling you, like, because I
Yeah.
had like perused that manual and stuff. I was like, no, it's all there. Like, you just got to learn how to do it, and it runs a little clunky, but you know, Snap.
Yeah. But I mean, it still teaches you concepts that are, you know, it's nice that it's harder in here because it would go using a like one of the more popular programming languages, it'll be like, oh, this is easier to actually create those items instead of these like
Right.
big blocks to try to do all this stuff. It's like it'll actually should be a little bit easier to do in some of these other languages.
Right, but at the same time, the first time you see it, I bet you the blocks are better because like we know the code, right? So not a
Yeah,
problem for us to look at it and say, yeah, that's what that does. But to a novice, having it in the blocks kind of would make more sense at first. And then, like you said, they would appreciate later when they learn a real language, like, oh, I can do it all like just like right here. Okay, cool.
yeah, awesome.
All
All
right,
right,
yeah. So guess that's a wrap.
that is everybody. Have a wonderful weekend, and just gonna do a couple of emotes real quick so I can get a chance to enjoy it. I missed them, so I'm just
Yeah,
gonna throw
right.
a couple of flames in there. I want to see the stuff fire up. Hey, bye Zor. And yeah, that's looking pretty great. All right, see ya.
All right. So long.